Good morning, building leaders. This is Christopher Hand from the Department of Academic Services. I'm here with Scott Carr. Scott, how you doing today?
Hey, Christopher, thanks for having me.
Today we're going to talk about how to find our preliminary APR that was just released by the state that's embargoed until October 23rd. And where you would actually find that, you would go to the DESE website, which I'm on right now, and then you would go to Web Applications. Now, Scott, is this a similar process to where you look for the data?
It is, Christopher. I'm pretty familiar with using the DESE apps. It's a great place to go just to find core data information as well as map results. So I know I've been anticipating, like other people, about the MSIP 5 and what that was going to look like.
And so what Scott's doing, I'm going to try one more time.
It's always a good idea to know your password.
That is a good idea.
It is. It's really important. There we go.
So once you're in the system, like Scott, since Scott is the building lead, he has access to that system. If you do not have access to the MCDS system, you need to contact Sandra Cockrum, and she can get you that access. Once you're in this area here after Web Applications, you would click on MCDS. And when that opens up, it brings you to a familiar area for most people, which is the Missouri Comprehensive Data System. Now today's purpose is we're going to show you how to find the secure documents, but we're not actually going to show you the secure document because it is embargoed. So Scott, as Scott and I were talking about, you go through guided inquiry, and then you would go to accountability. Under accountability, there's an area marked MSIP 5 Annual Performance Report. You would click there. Now this is going to take a little time because it's going to gather a lot of data, but you need to remember once this screen opens, it's going to show you every district. So I've had already a couple people call and say, well, I tried to open it up, but it wouldn't let me in. It gave me some other district's information. Well, that's because it starts with the first district with an A. So you would click here and begin to type in Liberty. Right there. Come on. Let's see if it takes us there. It's thinking, and Scott, there you go.
You bet.
Now, once you get to the Liberty site, it will open up and it'll have MSIP 5 reports, summary reports, and what we're going to look at today, you would actually go here, the secured area, to click and to get that information. However, we cannot show that in the video. So where you would go if you wanted to see how we did as a district, you would go to LEA, but I'll show you what that would possibly look like if we click on LEA Public. And when that opens up, it would look similar to this format of calculating data to give us a score. So you would click on APR year, which you would only have a choice of 2015, but I'm showing you the 2014. And then it would pretty much only give you the option of Liberty Public Schools in the secure site.
Now, Christopher, my understanding is with it being embargoed doesn't mean that we can't show staff. It just simply means that we have to keep that internalized, correct?
Correct.
And that they need to understand as well that they cannot share that information out with parents or patrons until the state approves that.
Correct.
That'd be right.
And so that's something, though, you definitely want to share with your staff, and actually you want to, with you and your assistant principal or your team of leaders, to really look over to make sure that you're getting all the points possible and that it's reflecting the scores that you know you have received. So as you can see, as you get in the system, it's going to take a long time to load because everyone else in the state of Missouri at this time is looking for this information. But it will give you a similar format when you go to the summary report of what we see in the past, where you have the bar graphs that go under academic achievement, subgroup achievement, college career readiness, attendance, and graduation. Now, elementaries won't see all of these areas per se. You would have academic achievement, subgroup achievement, and attendance in total. But it gives you the overall points you will score in your building and the percent of points that you have. So you can see as a district we scored a 92.9 last year. Now if I head back and go to school public here, I can show you what that can look like for a potential school. And actually I won't do that. We'll go to the summary support detail report. So when you go to the summary report detail report, you can click on, again, you would click on LEA secured. I can't do that. I'm going to show you an LEA public. But if you remember from last year, this is the detailed report that gives you a 3-year view.
Right.
And gives you the progress points and growth and all those wonderful things. So you would click on 2015. I'm clicking on 2014 today. and then you would actually choose your, just like you would see in a district view, you would actually get this in a building view. And while I'm doing that,
Well, and Christopher, I know that I've gone into the secured site, and it is good information. And I know that you and I have talked about the fact that Heritage Middle School as well as Discovery Middle School, since we don't have 3 years of being in existence, we
correct.
may not necessarily show point totals here, but that our focus needs to be about improvement and growth. No matter
Mm-hmm.
how we look at this as a building, knowing that the test is different,
Mm-hmm.
we need to look at growth, because my understanding is not only do we get points for hitting our marks, but we also receive points for improvement as well.
And that's perfect, Scott. That's a great segue because when you start off with your status points, usually what we'd find in our district, you would get mostly 16 status points because of the high proficient advanced and MPIs that we score.
Sure.
However, last year you can see we got 12 earned points. But what Scott had mentioned is it's very important for us to look to see if we are getting progress points and growth points because that can get you the total of the 16 here. So anywhere that you get points, so let's say you get 12 here and 12 there, and you get 24, it gives you only a total of 16 if we remember from last
You
year.
bet.
And as you look through, you have your area, which is academic achievement. You have subgroup achievement, so if you click there, it will bring up subgroup achievements. And of course, you have the attendance and graduation rate, but for elementary buildings, it's really attendance, subgroup, and academic achievement.
And even middle schools, that's all that we can look at as well. We don't have the
Correct.
graduation rate.
And like you said before, it's very interesting. Scott had mentioned, we're only going to have 2 years worth of data. So when Discovery and Heritage, they open their buildings scores, you'll only see 2014, 2015, and you probably won't have a summary report with all the bar graphs. So it's something to note, not to freak out. Epic, you'll probably have the same thing as well. So just don't freak out. There's nothing that you've done wrong. It's just the data that they've calculated here. So again, you have your summary of subgroup information, same thing. You can also find if whether or not you're on track or floor, where you're actually landing. And of course, what Scott had mentioned before, it gives you the attendance rate that we've worked very hard with Bob Citro this year to get all those reports for.
Mhm.
We see we see the outcomes that we've actually done all year long, and we've actually done very well as a district on the attendance rate. In summary, if you have any questions about this, please do not hesitate to give me a call, Christopher Hand, at 522-9710, or even contact a colleague. You can contact Scott. You can contact, I think Laura LaCroix was looking at today,
Yeah, we sure did.
and Christy Bowman. So those are people that you can contact as well. Thank you for your time, and I wish you the best of luck. And remember every day in Liberty Public Schools to inspire, invest, and innovate.